Good morning, students. Welcome to Social Science class. Class 7 History, Unit 2 The Mughal Empire. In previous class, you learnt about Babur, foundation of the Mughal Empire, Babur's military conquest, and Humayun. Now, we are going to discuss about Akbar. He is from 1556 to 1605. Akbar was 13 when he became the ruler. His guardian, Bairam Khan, a distinguished general, became the regent. Regent means a person appointed to administer a state because Akbar is a minor. When Akbar attained the age, he took over the government. Gwalior, Ajmer, Malwa, and Jaunpur were won over by Akbar. He was very friendly with the Hindus through matrimonial alliances and through appointment of Hindus in high positions. Akbar was able to command over a large empire. Akbar divided his empire into 15 provinces or sabas. Each sabha was subdivided into a number of sarkars and each sarkar into barganas. The governor or subedar was responsible for the law and order of his sabha. Akbar introduced Mansabdari system by which every officer was given a rank or mansab. The officers and nobles were paid grants of land revenue known as jagirs. The state enjoyed income from two sources. They are land revenue and trade. Sea trade brought the Europeans to India. Though himself illiterate, Akbar encouraged scholars, great scholars like Abul Faisi, Birbal, and Dodarmal enjoyed Akbar's love and respect. Persian was the official language that time. Writing in Hindi made its beginning during Akbar's time. Akbar was a great patron of music and art. Tansen, the famous musician, used to entertain the king. New Indo-Persian style of art and architecture developed. Akbar built magnificent palaces, gardens, learning centers, etc. Fatehpur Sikri is an example of the excellent style of architecture that was famous at that time. Akbar was liberal in his policy towards non-Muslims. In fact, he established a religion which was common to all, contained the common teachings of all religions. Akbar called it Deen Ilahi or divine monotheism. It was worth mentioning here that the idea of universal peace and harmony was the message of Deen Ilahi. His court had the 9 gems. One of the gems, Abul Faisi, wrote Akbarnama. Faisi translated Bhagavad Gita into Persian language. Birbal's wit and intelligence was well known. Akbar's sincere efforts to bring the Indians together were a landmark in the social life of the people. Jahangir. He is from 1605 to 1627. Jahangir succeeded Akbar. He was an admirer and follower of many of his father's qualities. Because of Akbar's effort and farsightedness, Jahangir could enjoy a peaceful reign. Rulers of Mewar and Ahmednagar became his allies. It is during this time that Sir Thomas Raw and Captain Hawkins visited India as an ambassador of the King of England. Jahangir's queen, Meghrunisa, whom he called Noor Jahan, was very beautiful, intelligent, and educated. She literally ruled over the kingdom. When Jahangir gave permission to the Britishers to set up factories in India, he had no idea that the Britishers would become the rulers. The memoirs of Jahangir is called Dusiki-i-Jahangir. Ustad Mansur, a famous painter of animals and birds, found a good portion in Jahangir. He was a lover of nature. He died in 1627 and then Shah Jahan. He is from 1627 to 1658. Shah Jahan became a ruler after the death of Jahangir. Shah Jahan had to deal with many revolts. Taj Mahal, the world famous dome of his queen Mumtaz Mahal, and the peacock throne belonged to his reign. Diwani Diwani Khas, the Jama Masjid, the Modi Masjid, the Red Fort, etc. Precious and semi-precious stones. Gold and silver is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It took 20 years to build the marble marvel. Shah Jahan, in his old age, had to witness the fight for the throne among his 4 sons. One of the sons, Aurangzeb, defeated his brothers, imprisoned his father, and crowned himself as a king. In 1666, Shah Jahan died at the age of 74. Aurangzeb, from 1658 to 1707. Aurangzeb's reign of nearly 50 years was full of conflicts. He raised the taxes to sustain the campaigns. By himself, an honest man with a simple lifestyle. He was a Muslim to the central. So, his rule with the help of the laws of Islam made him very unpopular. The Rajputs, the Sikhs, the Sats, the Marathas resisted him. As if this is not enough, he had to face troubles with the Portuguese and the English. He destroyed many Hindu temples. He banished all scholars. Banished means to send somebody away, especially out of the country. So, he banished all scholars, artists, and poets from his court. So, when he died in March 1707, the empire was collapsing. Now, Shivaji and the Marathas. The death of Aurangzeb led to chaos and confusion about the succession to the throne. Bahadur Shah became the king but had to face the defense of Rajputs, the Sikhs, the Marathas, and the Afghans. He died in 1712. The Marathas came to power. Foreign invasions of Nadir Shah and Ahmad Shah Abdali weakened the Mughal Empire, though the Marathas were defeated by the Afghans. At the Battle of Panipat In 1761, they regained a power, and the powerful Maratha leader was Shivaji. Who was the powerful Maratha leader? Yes, Shivaji. Shivaji was ambitious and decided to head an independent kingdom with a small army of brave soldiers. With intelligent planning and execution of strategies, Shivaji succeeded in overcoming enemies. He was an epitome of patriotism. Epitome means a perfect example of patriotism. Who is a perfect example of patriotism? Shivaji. So, history tells us that Shivaji was a real pain in the neck for Aurangzeb, a brave, fearless warrior. Shivaji is even now remembered as the most popular hero who dared against the Mughals. After Aurangzeb's death, the Mughal Empire broke down due to the internal quarrels among his nobles. Quarrels means an angry argument in the court among sons of the Aurangzebs. The attacks from outside and the inefficiency of the rulers. The Persian rulers Nadir Shah attacked India and carried away huge quantities of gold, jewels, and other treasures from India. He killed many and destroyed beautiful buildings in Delhi. He left India with the Kohinoor diamond, the Dakti Daus, elephants and horses. During the reign of Alamkir II, the English East India Company defeated the Nawab of Bengal in the Battle of Plassey in 1757. During the time of Shah Alam II, the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761 between the Marathas and the Afghans, and the Battle of Buxar between the East India Company and the joint army of Mir Qasim, Sujauddaulah and Shah Alam II happened during the time of last Bahadur Shah Zafar. The revolt of 1857 broke out. The British suppressed the revolt. Suppressed means to stop something by using force. Exiled the emperor to Rangoon, where he died in 1862. The Mughal Empire lasted for nearly 350 years. One of the reasons for its fall was that down the line of success, it is met with financial troubles. The Jamindars, with the support of the peasants, peasants means farmer, defeat the emperors. The aristocracy, steeped in luxury and enjoyment, was completely unaware of the advent of the Europeans. Aristocracy means nobility, steeped, having a lot of full of something, having a lot of full of something. The aristocracy, steeped in luxury and enjoyment, was completely unaware of the advent of the Europeans, who were eagerly and cleverly looking for weak spots to expand their empire and treasury. Treasury means revenue of a state or purse. Okay, in Tamil, Karuvolam. Okay, students, I hope you are clear with this topic. Shall we recall now? Yes. Humayun's retrieval of the Mughal Empire and his untimely death leading to the accession of his son Akbar, with Bairam Khan as the regent, and defeating Hemu, the great general of Sur dynasty in the Battle of Panipat in 1556. And then Akbar's military conquest as well as his religious policy are explained. Next, Jahangir's disinterest in state governance leading to dominance of his wife Nur Jahan in the Mughal court is elaborated. Then, Shah Jahan extending Mughal rule in the Deccan and the resultant conflict with the Marathas are analyzed. Then last one, Aurangzeb's conquest helped to expand the Mughal empire, but his policies against Rajputs, Marathas and Sikhs provoked resistance from them, paving the way for its downfall. Okay students, thank you.